it come up on Board Game Geek that the Oregon Laminations deluxe corner rounder was potentially damaging some of the deluxe counters, which are sort of the thicker type of counters that you find in some of GMT's deluxe games, usually the ones that come with mounted boards, like the recent reprints of For the People or Space Empires. I think that had the thicker, like brown core style counters. I know there was For the People, Paths of Glory, like some of the more recent reprints. GMT will do these kind of deluxe style counters. Like the coin games and things, or the No Retreat series, those have deluxe style counters also, but the corners are usually rounded on those counters already, so you don't use the clipper on them. Whereas with their more traditional board games or CDGs, you get these thicker brown core deluxe type counters. So I got a couple from my copy of the U.S. Civil War that I haven't clipped yet, and thought I'd just do a little clipping demo of them to show that these particular counters clip just as well with the deluxe corner rounder as a typical white core or thinner, more typical stock counter from GMT or other companies. I guess the issue that the guy had run into on Board Game Geek was that the back side of the counter, which is the the die cut goes from on the top of the counter on the back. This edge is a little more flat. What was happening with his deluxe corner rounder was that it was kind of chewing up the edges, not chewing up, but kind of scraping up, so there was a lot of white scraping along these flat edges in the back of the counter. So I'm just going to run a couple through mine and see if any kind of similar results turn up. And it looks like here I did not actually see any scraping. Not sure how well that's turning up on camera. I don't have the way my camera's set up, I don't have the best angle on the screen there. But it looks like no issues. And with my counter, my corner rounder, I've clipped probably 5,000 counters with this, possibly more. I would say it's clipped probably 3/4 of my entire collection of war games, which is a couple hundred titles. So I have never had any issues with it, other than, and again they look like they're coming out just fine. Other than you can see the little plastic cover that used to be on here fell off. Same thing here. They had plastic covers on the inside of these handles. Those pop out pretty quickly. They're just cosmetic. They don't really serve any functional purpose that I could see, so I just never put them back on. Same thing here. These are continuing to look not chewed up. We'll try some of the Union counters. And if I can get it close enough without blowing the focus out, you can see the edges look pretty good. So no sign of damage, so I'm guessing this guy must have a faulty clipper. The other possibility is that there's these bolt holes here in the bottom plate. When you get the counter clipper, there's a piece of tape over those. I peeled it off right away. I never had any issue with moving counters over those holes. So possibility is that those weren't sanded down enough on his, and the edge of those holes might be scraping up the bottom of his counters. That's about all I can think of, because these plates here should not be catching the edges or anything. So it looks like it's the deluxe corner rounder works just fine on the deluxe GMT counters. He'll definitely want to take a closer look at his clipper and make sure it's not defective.